I'm just setting up, but I wanted to take this time to explain to you a little bit of the difference in the sounds from the saxaflutes, the natural bamboo saxaflute, the hardwood bamboo saxaflute, and the black bamboo saxaflute. And so I brought some saxophones along so that I can show you the difference in sounds and illustrate it between the difference in the sounds of the saxophones. First, I guess I should get a natural bamboo saxaflute. Now, reeds, the reeds that I use are just, you're just learning to play a saxaflute. You're not an experienced saxophone player, so there's no need to go to a shop and ask for the most expensive reeds. A lot of saxophone players now are arguing about the price of reeds, whereas you can get 10 reeds perfectly easy. Sometimes I talk so much, I don't even know what I'm saying. The way you put the reed on is, the reed has a thin end obviously and a thicker end. So the way you put the reed on is you kind of line it up with the top of the mouthpiece and then go down maybe 1 millimeter or 2 millimeters maximum from the top. So you can just see the top of the top of the mouthpiece. And this metal thing is called the ligature. The screws will always go down on the bottom. It has a big end and a small end. Now if the screws are on the bottom, you want the big end to go on first. And I usually just line it up with my finger and thumb to put the ligature on. It does matter what position the ligature is in. If it's too far up, you're not going to get any sound. If it's too far down, so the mouthpiece does have an area here, the conical area, and you want to go bang in the middle of that conical area. So you look at the mouthpiece, you look at the ligature, undo the screws for the first time, and you push it down, and you can just see now that that ligature is almost central to the mouthpiece on there. Now you tighten it up, but once you tighten it up, the reed wants to go to one side. So what you want to do is make sure that it stays even and straight in the middle. A little bit later on, we'll be doing a little test of selecting 3 reeds from a pack of 10 and seeing what the difference in sound is with the same bamboo saxaflute. So let's have a look, see if this plays. Because I'm experienced on the saxaflute as well as the saxophone, I can get a sound out of it straight away. But when you buy a saxaflute and you take it home, the reed is going to be dry. I can feel in my mouth that that reed is a little bit dry. So I know after 5 or 10 minutes it's going to get wetter and a little bit freer. But on the first blow, selecting a reed out of 10, it blows pretty good. And I know that it will have an effect after 5 minutes of blowing, that it'll blow even better. When you get your saxophone, everybody who comes to the table, they're always so tempted to put all the fingers down and try to get the lower note. Even on a saxophone, that particular note on the bottom is difficult. Takes a little bit of practice. I always recommend the thumb and the first finger for 2 reasons. One, because I make them so incredibly well that when you hold it like that, that mouthpiece is perfectly straight. Look at that. You could look at the horizon by that mouthpiece. That's not just a coincidence. Well, maybe it is a little bit. But that mouthpiece then is the perfect angle where you want to blow the air in. If you automatically cover all your fingers, you're going to have that angle. And so when you blow the air in, it's going to go on the top. It's not as effective. So just, for now, start with just those 2 fingers, 1 finger and 1 thumb. And look, and hold your head up up a little bit, because if you go down here, you're going to close off the air a little bit here. Hold your head up there a little bit. Look to the horizon. No point in looking what's back there. That's just the wake of the ship. You're a vessel moving forward. Forget the past. There's nothing you can do about it. The saxaflute is bringing you to the future, new lands ahead. And you want to blow straight ahead, only on that angle. Now there is a guy who is a teacher. I know all of you know saxophone teachers and they think they know everything. But there's a guy who is a teacher who's taught at Berklee Music School for decades. And all of the expert teachers, that there will be a list on my website of Joe Lavarno, of some other people who taught at Berklee Music School, they all teach you to have a very soft lip. I know that your friend was a clarinet expert at the age of 9 and she's telling you to do this. Please don't listen to her. Just nice and relaxed. And just... You do put your teeth on the top, round about there. Measure your thumb, just go in a little bit there. And just your lip on the bottom. If you can say, you can play the saxophone. So this is the natural bamboo saxophone. I just wanted to prepare and get ready with a reed on it. That's all you should be doing for the first day. That's the tenor natural bamboo saxophone. Now I'm going to randomly select a tenor in G. Let's try this one. And now, as I said, there's a couple of reeds here. I'm just going to eeny, meeny, miny, mo, weeny, meeny, new reed, stick it on. You do see saxophone players doing that. So just, again, put the reed on the saxaflute. Thumb and first finger just to centralize it, central station it, and the ligature, undo the screws. Remember, the ligature screws go on the bottom. And again, halfway, round about halfway from there to there, yeah? And so, tighten it up, making sure it doesn't go to one side. Make it nice and central, and one little millimeter of black on the top so that you can see it. Will this one blow like the natural one first time? Let's try it. Yes, here and here. Wonderful. Okay, so that's the black one. It's the natural one and the black one. And now I'm going to find, this is an, okay, here is a hardwood bamboo saxaflute. I just want you to know that this year, in some of the events that I'm doing, the hardwood bamboo is on short supply. The supplier I get it from hasn't bothered to make another order since Corona, so I'm having to find the hardwood bamboo from other suppliers, waiting on some new orders. Try a different ligature. Okay. So this is the hardwood bamboo saxaflute. This is the one that I work on the wood lathe, a little bit thicker. little dry, but as I said with the other ones, when the reed gets a little bit wet, it will play a little bit better. So that's the hardwood bamboo. So that's the hardwood bamboo, the natural bamboo, and the black bamboo. Now these are all G in the tenor version. So I'm going to find an A. Okay, this is an A in the black, which is the same scale, the same range as would be in the natural or the hard bamboo. But it's in the black. We're going to stick a reed on there again, 1 millimeter from the top, thumb and nail, and ligature screws on the bottom. Caress it like a baby. And here we go. Push it down a little. So this is the black bamboo in the alto, so it's a little bit higher. The fingers are a little closer together. If you've got a small person, or if you've got a child, or if you've got somebody with smaller hands, I would go for the alto because the fingers are a little bit closer together. Same principle as on the saxophones. When somebody learns to play, they start learning maybe with the alto because it's a little bit easier to control. The tenor is a little bit bigger. But the sound of the alto is like this. That's the alto, just a little bit higher, but the fingers are closer together. So when I make it, it's a little bit of a more preferred than the tenor saxophone. So that's 3 different saxaflutes I have to offer at the events and festivals that I'm going to this year. The black bamboo saxaflute, the hardwood bamboo saxaflute, and the natural bamboo saxaflute.